Dallas, Texas, and these guys are from Atlanta. Bill's from Toledo. So really appreciative of you guys coming up here. I'm just excited. I'm excited about this. This is the first one we're doing. It's so cool that it's coming together like it is. So let me go ahead and give you a quick presentation. I should take just a few minutes on this just to kind of share with you what we're doing. Obviously, since we're talking about money here, making money, things like that, I always like to put a disclaimer up here. If you don't do anything in this business, don't expect anything. It's pretty simple. Okay, so we're not ever, and you should never, if you're out in the field, you should never give anybody false expectations, unrealistic, goals of, oh, you can make $1 million by the weekend kind of thing. Have a realistic expectation, and I think you're going to see, obviously, we have some significant potential here for what we are. Now, Rick touched on this as he was standing up here. Residual income. First time I'm 20, no, I'm not 20. I'm 49 years old as of last month. In my early 20s was the first time I ever heard the word residential income. It was at a presentation I went to. A guy gave him a presentation. He was talking about this thing, and everybody was excited about it. But I had no background in business, anything like that. And I remember I got excited. I called my dad up. I said, "Dad, there's this company. They got this thing called residential income, and it's going to be amazing." He goes, "You mean residual?" And I go, "Well, I think they got that too. So it's going to be, So I didn't have a clue what it was. I thought residential. I told everybody they could make residential income for a long time. But residual income is pretty incredible. A lot of us have tapped into it. A lot of you guys probably have too. And obviously with BidPoint, one of the great things is you do this at your own pace. This is your business. You do with it what you want. No commission caps. You can make as much or as little based on the effort you put forth. Zero experience necessary. Good thing is, and I'll touch on this at the very end, we have some training in place that I think you're going to really enjoy to make it very simple for what you and I do out in the field. I always put myself in your seat. I'm kind of more of the field guy myself. And then no investment required. It's actually, what's pretty hard to believe, a lot of people think, is that we have no investment to get involved in BidPoint. It's actually no cost to be an advisor with our company. So it's pretty incredible. So if you decided that you want to be an advisor with us, what are you going to do? Is we just help businesses reduce costs on essential services. How many people know business? Everybody. How many of them know they use gas, electric, credit cards, waste services, things like that? These are the main things that we touch on. These are our, we call them verticals, the services that we offer. What's nice about these, and if you really do your due diligence, you'll hear this from some of the guys coming up front. Collectively, if you actually add all those industries together, there's trillions with the T, trillions of dollars that go back and forth in these industries. So it's absolutely massive. How do we do it? BidPoint, if you want to look at what we actually do, what I kind of came up with, along with Monty and Rick, is we're more or less the marketing arm for these services. We've been in businesses where we've actually built organizations, sales forces into the tens of thousands of people, and this just seemed as, from all of our experience in all the 20-some years, myself, Rick's been more than that, in the industries, we believe that we really could put a better mousetrap together. And we have services that I've seen that I've never seen that were so significant. Because in a lot of, if you've ever been pitched an opportunity, quote unquote, there's nothing wrong with that. I've made a great living on that. But we're talking about some of these services and these ability to offer these things have such a high income potential. It's almost mind-boggling when you hear it. Some of this stuff, we try to keep some of these stories low because some of them become so big you won't believe them. Okay, so they're just, if you signed up a refinery that was using natural gas and you had the ability to make a little bit off of that gas bill every month, that's a pretty big income, right, for just one customer per se, let alone when you add multiple services into it. Okay, so, and we obviously, really why this works so well is most of you have warm connections, warm markets that you can tap into. That's probably the best thing that we have. So we register for free and we just get customers. So the process of what you're doing is really very simple. Now I developed, when we just were using natural gas and electricity, I developed a question we called the 8-second question. And let's say Bill owned a pizza place and we had pizza there last night and I wanted to see if I could help him with any of these services. I'd say, "Hey Bill, thanks, pizza was great. And then, oh, by the way, here's the 8 seconds, ready? I don't know if I could help you or not, but if you give me a copy of last month's utility bills, I can have them analyzed for free to see if you're being overcharged." Pretty simple, right? If you could literally memorize that, that's what we've taught people to do, and they literally just get the bills. And it's typically, it doesn't have there's no buffeting to it because a lot of times it's the relationship. So that's what's really nice. So we use the question. All you're doing, if you decide to be an advisor with us, and I kind of want to emphasize this, is you really don't have to know all of the details. You have to be smart enough to be dangerous, but you don't have to know all the details about how every one of our verticals works, because that's why we have the really, really smart people that are going to do most of the heavy lifting for you. We're just basically, or you in the field, myself in the field, is we're just looking to gather leads for us, through our relationships and our warm market, to generate those customers, the potential customers for these services, and then we pay you really, really well to do that, okay? So you submit the info, we get it back. If the proposal works, then you begin to make a residual income off of all of those services. Does that sound pretty simple? Pretty simple process, okay? So let's not complicate it. I kind of went through that as an example, so I'm going to just jump through it. As far as the energy goes, you're going to hear from Jim Sharon, one of the co-founders of Avion Energy, and he's going to give you the details on the energy side. That's why we brought these guys in from out of town. You're going to hear from each of the guys that run these verticals, so you can see that. But literally, we have over 70 plus energy suppliers. Nobody can do what we do. I'm just telling you the way it is, right? Is this fact? Nobody can do what we can do. There's no competition really for what we've put together. That's what makes it so exciting. And we have relationships to begin with these people have created these businesses that are part of BidPoint, okay? And we're part of them, they're part of us. It's a really, really great win-win situation. So how do you earn commissions on the energy side? Basically, we're paying out about 60% on that. And obviously, and just so you know, the rest of the format for today is if you have questions, please write them down. I don't want to take questions from the room, otherwise we could be here forever. And when we have our break around 11:30 or so, you can ask the questions, and then when we finish, these guys, everybody's sticking around for quite a few hours later. You're welcome to ask us anything you want. But as an example, they measure electricity in kilowatts, kilowatt usage. Kilowatt usage is just, it's not a big thing, really. Like, what does a light bulb produce?
A light bulb on an hour basis.
On an hour, yeah, a light bulb is a kilowatt an hour kind of thing. So it's, a little bit of electricity, but that's how it's measured. And if you went to a business, as an example, let's say it was this hotel, for instance, and this hotel was using 10 million kilowatts annually or whatever, and it's probably doing way more than that. But you would be paid approximately, what we do is we look at how it's measured out there, and you'd be paid approximately between $1,200 and $1,500 per million kilowatts. So you can do the math if you multiplied that by 10, correct? So as an example, I put that on here. And by the way, this PowerPoint in this presentation is available for you to watch and share on promoterswanted.com. If you have not been there, promoterswanted.com. That's just a standalone video website that you can just go on there and watch that thing. So it's really good. So on the waste services side, we're basically paying 10% on the gross annual savings on that. So you can use some of these examples here. I went too far. If we saved a company $10,000, you'd earn approximately $100,000 over a 2-year period. That's about $10,000 commission on that. So, and some of these things that we're saving these businesses with are just, that's mind-boggling how much we're helping these businesses. Okay, and then on the cash discount program / the credit card processing, you're going to hear about that when these guys get up. That's why I'm kind of speeding this up, of how much significant income is in there. Okay, so you can go through that. So these are some examples. I don't know if you can see that because of the size of the room and how small the writing is. But what I want you to envision is you're probably just going to go about your day like normal, right? In most cases, but you're going to run into people that that have businesses and such. And in this economy, wouldn't you agree that most businesses want to save money as best they can? I mean, that's the whole name of the game. So we can keep more businesses in business and help them expand their business. The one thing that we're going to expand on eventually too is we're not only going to help them save money, we've got a lot of extremely sharp business people in our company that can help them grow their businesses with ideas that they've used successfully over the years as well. So I mean, if you can start saving businesses tens of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of thousands, in some cases millions of dollars annually, they can take that money and do what? Grow their companies as opposed to just struggling. So we're offering something at no cost. Understand that. How hard is it to sell something that doesn't cost anything? Rick, I know you got a construction company, and if you don't mind, I'd like to put another $500 in your pocket, or another $1,000. How much will it cost me? Say it. How much? Nothing. Here's another $5,000, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how hard is that pitch? It's not very hard. Okay, so you can look at books of business, like if you think about it collectively, if you went out and got an office, a warehouse, a church, something like that, people are putting books of business together. We have multiple services, obviously, okay? And then I'm gonna just go through these. Like here was an example of a guy, two municipalities, and he did waste, and he had some retail stores for the credit card billing. Annual commissions on a residual basis is a little over $36,000 on those things collectively, okay? So it's pretty amazing what's out there. So you can think as, you know, I'd like to make enough money to afford Chipotle on a regular day, right, regular week. I have those goals. That's what I'm looking for, Chipotle. Sorry, I'm just being honest. Ask my family back there. You know, but you see some of these things, housing units, rental spaces, they're everywhere. When you leave tonight, or this morning, when you take off and you go home, while you're driving, I want you to take a mental picture of how many businesses you pass. How many people are using natural gas and electricity, okay? And that's what we're talking about here. It's pretty significant. You know, we've seen we have just about every walk of life coming into Midpoint as well. Whether it's a stay-at-home mom, to the CEO, to the school teacher, to the coach, to, you know, a married couple just getting started looking to supplement their income because they've got, you know, career goals. I mean, we really have it all set up for you, okay? So really, if this is something you want to do, understand that it's simple. It's a simple process. We literally have an online application. There's no cost. You enroll with us. We're going to get you some training, which is real simple. I'm actually just finishing up a training library that you'll just, as soon as you're a Midpoint associate, you'll log into the training library. We have the videos from the different vendors that will be able to explain everything easy for you, because I just want you to remember, we just want to be dangerous enough to go out there and collect the information so that we can pass it on to the smart people that help us close those deals. That's what really makes this thing tick, okay? So you submit the proposals and you refer others. Obviously, we are looking to grow our business as fast as possible. We had conversations last night. There was a few of you that came into town early last night. We had a dinner just up the street at the pizza place. We were just having some fun. And we got to talking about that we don't necessarily need millions of people in this. We don't even need tens of thousands of people in this. With the size of things that we have available, we just want the right people in the right seats on the bus. Does that make sense? So we don't need everybody. But along those lines, if you happen to be one of those people that refers someone to us, we do pay out some residuals on that as well, 10% override on, you know, the incomes of some of these people bring in as an incentive, as a thank you, because we wouldn't have had those customers without your initiative and your help to begin with. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so all that being said, was that a quick presentation for you? Yeah. Pretty good. You can clap on that. That was it.